Hi there, this is Sean. It's June, that means it's Pride Month, and during June I'm reading books to celebrate everything LGBTQI+. This book is called Anything But Fine, written by Tobias Madden. It's a young adult novel. It's an okay book. It's very dramatic, probably melodramatic I would say in a lot of cases, and sometimes overly so, but it still is an okay read. It's not a brilliant read, but I did enjoy it, and for a young adult novel I think it's fine, and I think it is very positive. I don't know why there's so much melodrama in it. Maybe because the author thinks teenagers act very melodramatically. I'm not sure. But let's discuss that more in plot. The main focus of the story is Luca. Luca is in high school. In this novel he's in year 11, and he also studies ballet, and he's destined to go and study ballet further once he finishes high school. And that's his dream. It's been his dream since he's 3 years old. One day there's an accident, and he not only shatters his ankle and foot, he shatters his life. There's an injury to his foot and ankle so severe that they have to insert plates and screws, all that sort of thing, and he's told he'll never dance again. Not be a great ballet dancer anyway. He's told that his movement in his foot won't be the same, so all his dreams are shattered. That destroys his life, really, at that moment. And not only that, not long after he gets home from the hospital, he's asked to go to his school. So he's got a scholarship at a private school. He's asked to go there, and he's told because he can't dance anymore, his scholarship is null and void, and so he can't attend that school anymore. So not only does he lose his dream of being a ballet dancer, he loses his school, his structure, his safety, and he loses his friends at that school as well, basically. Well, he doesn't get to see them every day like he used to. And he has to shift schools and go somewhere else in the middle of the school year. So you can imagine just how traumatic that would be for a person in real life. And in this book, that trauma really comes through, and it's explained in great detail, and it's very vivid, and you do really feel sorry for the character Luca at this time. You can really understand the melodrama at this stage in the novel. There are certain parts in the novel where you don't really understand why it's so melodramatic. It shouldn't have to be at certain times, but at this very moment you can understand it, and I think it's justified. When he gets to his new school, he's not sure if he's going to meet new friends, people are going to pick on him. He has no confidence at all. But there's a girl called Amina, and she's being assigned to be his welcome committee, basically, to get him settled and be his support as he starts this new school. She's a really great character. Her personality, everything about her I thought was so great in this novel, and she kind of attaches herself to Luca straight away, and they become friends. And that's so great to see in this novel, and it gives you such a lift when you're reading it. This novel's just not about somebody trying to reshape their lives after losing their dreams. It's got a romance element as well. So Luca, when he's going to his occupational therapy appointment, when he's waiting in the waiting room, this other guy walks in around his same age, and Luca's head over heels in love straight away at sight. So this guy ends up being on the football team, like a real jock, and he ends up attending the school that Luca goes to after his accident. So now they're at the same school. The guy's a year ahead, so not in the same classes, but Luca sees him all the time walking around, and every time he sees him, he's got, love hearts in his eyes. He's head over heels in love. He just wants this guy to notice him and like him back. He doesn't think that will ever happen because he just thinks the guy's straight. So Luca's gay. He thinks this other guy, Jordan, is straight, that he's not going to like him at all. As the story progresses, we see little hints that maybe Jordan does like Luca, and that goes on in the novel, and other things happen as well with their relationship. I won't go into too much detail because I think you should read it. It is a fun book. Even though I didn't think it was fantastic, it's still a fun book and worth the read. But the rest of the plot basically is Luca trying to get Jordan to like him, Amina falling in love with Jordan herself, and that causes some tension as well in the book. Luca being horrible to his dad. His dad seems wonderful, like his dad seems to be going for Father of the Year award, and I think there's some awkward moments in the book with dialogue between the father and Luca. And I think there's dialogue there that really wouldn't happen in normal life between the father and son, and I found it strange why it's in there in this novel. It's not really endearing, seems a bit over the top and unnecessary and a bit awkward and not realistic. So I found that strange, and that did colour my perception of this book a little bit. The really good thing about this plot though is it did seem quite well structured. It didn't feel like the author was writing it on the fly, and I did appreciate that. And it just seems that the structure allowed for these high and low moments, light and shade. That was really well planned, I thought, in the book. So overall, I think it's a well-constructed book. I think the writing is okay. I think there are moments that are just over-dramatic, and I think there are moments that felt a little bit awkward. But I thought the overall concept and most of the character development, most of the characters, was really spot on. Luca is the main character in this book, and the main focus. I do really see the anger and frustration with this character. I thought it went on for a bit too long, and I thought at times it was misguided and misdirected in the book, and I thought sometimes it was just overdramatic. The thing I think it's skipped in this book is just how hard it is for him to come from training so hard in his ballet to having an ordinary life without ballet. I mean, it would be a huge shift. Be a shift in, routine, a shift in diet, a shift in, his exercise regime, be a shift in how he spends his free time, just the whole structure of his life, be a huge shift in his life. The one thing the book concentrates on is the shift in his studies. So before his injury, his academic studies were really poor. His performance was poor, and now he has to perform much better in his academic life. So we have that struggle. We don't have the struggle about his diet and his routine, how he spends his free time. We don't really see how his confidence is affected that much as well. We see things about his friendship groups changing and how he feels about his friends. That's also in his character, and that's well done. But I don't think the character's 100% complete because of some components that I thought were missing. Amina, Luca's new friend at his new school. I loved Amina in this book. I thought she was the best character in this book by far. Everything about her is just very vibrant, very fun, very positive. And I think she's a great role model for teenagers in this book, especially teenagers who are very studious, who like their school and like homework and like studying. I think she's a great role model for people like that. Because school's not always easy for people who are very studious and like academia. They might get picked on and bullied on a lot at school. And I thought Amina was a great example of somebody who has great confidence in herself and her capabilities, and also has a great outlook on life. Even if she's not the most popular person at the school, she has a great outlook and has a lot of fun with who she is. Jordan is the high school jock that Luca has this huge crush on. Jordan is an okay character. I thought he was pretty well developed. He had some good history. He has some good character growth in the novel. Probably the most character growth out of anybody else in the novel, in my opinion. He's a pretty good character, and I liked seeing the change in his mindset and how he was struggling with certain things and how he went about that. And he seemed the character was very thoughtful and very deliberate in everything he did. Anything But Fine is a pretty good book, and I am glad I read it. I don't think in its whole scope that it's original. The whole concept of the high school jock and the artistic person in a romance novel, romance setting, is not that original. It has happened in a lot of different books and movies and TV shows. I did think some of this book felt like an episode of Glee, and I don't know why the book wanted to feel like Glee, but for me, it seemed like the author was incorporating a bit of Glee into this book. I do rate it a 3 out of 5. It's an above average read. I think it's worth reading, so if you haven't read it, give it a go. And I do think the author has the potential to write better books in the future. I do review other young adult novels on my channel. If you don't want to miss out on future reviews, check out my channel and subscribe. Also, check out the young adult playlist on my channel. It should be on your screen now.